everybody, and welcome to my VIP page. Tonight, Nick and I are going to have a meatless dinner, and I am going to try the new enchilada mix. This is a brand new one. I've never made it before. Looks really simple, and it just came out in the new catalog that started this week, so I wanted to test drive it in case anybody has any questions. I will be using EPICURE products as we go, and I'll showcase those as I put them to use. Anytime you have any comments or feedback on product that you've tried, as always, feel free to post those in your comment section under this post. So the first thing I did was write up the recipe in a little bit bigger print than the back of the package. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to mix 1.5 cups of water, 3 tablespoons of tomato paste, and a package of enchilada mix. I'm going to nuke that for a couple of minutes just so that it thickens up. I'll put in a little lime juice and I'll put in a little olive oil, and that's our sauce all made up. Like I mentioned, we're going to use black bean. You could use chicken, you could use ground beef. For the black beans, I'm just going to rinse them and mash them up a little bit with a little bit of the sauce we just made. And I'm going to put them on tortilla chips, sprinkle some cheese on, roll them up, put them in our multi-purpose steamer, and and a little bit more cheese and sauce on top, and you bake them for 20 minutes. You can do these in the microwave as well. I'm opting to put them in my oven today because I have all kinds of time. So the first thing we will do is make our sauce, because it's going to be in the microwave for 2 minutes. While that's happening, I can always be draining and mashing up the beans. So I have our 4-cup prep bowls. As with our 1-cup prep bowls, our 4-cup, they all have silicone lids so that if you're transporting anything, you want the liquid to remain safe, you can do that. They're great for leftovers in the fridge if you ever happen to have any, and I use them quite a bit. 4-cup prep bowl, I am going to put in 1.5 cups of water. I will also post a picture of the recipe from the back of the package. Anytime you order anything from EPICURE, as always, it's always gluten-free, it's always nut-free, 100%. But they also have a single recipe on the back, sometimes with different options, whether it's oven or microwave related. But they always provide a recipe with how to use that product. In addition to that, you can go to my website, which is mariediemer.epicure.com, and type in the EPICURE product that you have, and there will be a recipes page there with every recipe they have on file that uses that spice or that solution package mix. So I put 1.5 cups of water here. To that 1.5 cups of water, I'm going to add my enchilada mix. These solution packages are in the current catalog for $10.75 for 3 packages, and each one of these packages feeds 4 to 6 people. Usually I figure on 4. So I just have to put the enchilada mix in. Plus it calls for 3 tablespoons of tomato paste, which really, if you didn't feel like measuring tomato paste, because why would you? It's about half of one of those small 6-ounce tomato paste cans. So I just want to make sure I get all the goodness off the spoon. This was our 3-in-1 spoon that I just mucked up. Great for scraping out bowls and stuff. Love it. So I'm just going to whisk those together. I've had a few recent posts where I have used my mini whisk. It rarely goes in the drawer because I'm either using it or it's in the dishwasher. So all you're going to do is mix that up a bit. We're going to put it in the microwave for 2 minutes. I think I'll check it at halftime just to make sure it hasn't overflowed. So that's in for 1 minute. I just want to double check on it at halftime. So now what we're going to do is drain and rinse the black beans. Like I said, you could cook meat and use that instead, but we're going to go meatless tonight. We try and do that at least once or twice a week. So it calls for about 2 of the 398 ml cans of black beans. We happen to have 2 cans on hand that are the larger size, so it'll be about 1.5 of these 540 mils. It's not an exact science. You don't have to worry about it. This is our collapsible strainer. For anyone who lives in confined kitchen spaces, it slides in, it's narrow, it's wonderful. It pops out quite easily. Silicone, nothing's gonna stick, goes in the dishwasher, and doesn't take up much space. Anybody with who enjoys their trailers during the summer months, you will love these. So I will put that in for another minute. Didn't throw up all over my oven, my microwave. So here you go. That's our collapsible strainer. I use this a lot too. I use all my EPICURE stuff a lot. So I am just going to drain about 1.5 cups of these black beans. And then I'm just going to run them under some water to rinse the last of the thick, gooey binding juice that's on there. This isn't something that you need to measure incredibly closely, but you'll find I say that quite often when I cook. See, it's going to rinse. I'm just going to rinse this under the tap quickly, if you'll excuse me. Take my sauce out of the microwave. You can also cook this sauce over the stove if you wish. You can put it in your multi-purpose pots and cook it over the stove. It says it takes about 8 minutes or something, so I thought, okay, why? I'm going to put this in for a 3rd minute, even though it didn't say that on the package, because I think I want this just a little bit thicker. Okay, so we have drained and rinsed our beans. I'm going to put them in a bit of a larger bowl that's clear so that you can see. Now, it says you want to mash these slightly. And most of the reason you want to do that is because you don't want it to be liquid and mushy, and you don't want it to look like dog food. You do kind of want to have some of the bean texture in your enchiladas. So it also says to include half a cup of the sauce that you've made. That's better. So my sauce is quite a bit thicker now. And I will put half a cup of that sauce into my beans. Again, doesn't have to be exact. And the rest of the sauce will get poured over the top of your enchiladas when they're in your multi-purpose steamer. So I'm just using my meat separator, which is a 3-prong ground meat separator. I use this a lot. We tend to eat quite a lot of ground meat, whether it's turkey or beef. So we use this quite a bit. Again, everything's going to go in the dishwasher, like that. And we tend to like a fair amount of texture in the food. So you don't want it mushed up like dog food. So what we're going to do now, to our sauce, we would add a teaspoon of oil. And you know what? I should have done this before I put it in with the beans, but it's not going to matter because this sauce is going to go over top of everything that cooks. so the flavor will be there. So it's a teaspoon of oil and a tablespoon, let me see, it says the juice of 1 lime, so that's between 2 and 3 tablespoons. So I'll put 2 in, just so that it's not too tangy for us. Okay, okay. Maybe we've done that right now. First time, right? Okay. So we have our sauce is all made up. I'm going to wipe off this board because I'm going to use it to make up the tortilla shells. The enchiladas, ready to go. I'm just going to give that another little quick smush. They look fine. Now, this says 4 medium tortillas. I don't know how big medium tortillas are. We have like 7, 8-inch tortillas here, so that's what we're going to use. All you have to do now is put your bean mixture on top of your tortillas, spread them out over the 4 or 5 or whatever you want to make. And we're going to put some shredded cheese on top, roll them up, put them in the multi-purpose steamer, cover them with sauce, a little more shredded cheese because cheese, throw them in the oven for 20 minutes. Super, super simple. So, that fork is not what I want to use. So I've got my mashed up beans and that 1/2 cup of sauce, and I'm going to put them in the middle of the tortilla, like that. What I basically did was I just took a quarter-ish of the bean mixture that I had, because I'm going to split it between these 4 tortillas that I have. And over the 4 of them, it says to use 3/4 of a cup of the cheese. Again, not an exact science, but what it will do is help the tortilla stick. I'm going to roll these up. And never have I been very good at that part. And we are going to put them in the multi-purpose steamer. If you haven't seen our multi-purpose steamer, a lot of people love to use these in their microwave, in their oven. It goes in the dishwasher, whatever. This is the largest size that we have. Comes with a lid with steamer holes if you're using it for a steamer, but you can also use it uncovered as a casserole dish. Anything you would put in a casserole dish, you can throw in one of these. The largest size, the multi-purpose, also has a tray in it, which allows you to put veggies on the bottom, meat on the top, and cook 2 different layers of food at the same time. Another time saver. And again, multi-purpose steamer, nothing sticks. So I've got my multi-purpose steamer here. What I'm going to do, that didn't work, did it? I am going to roll this up as tightly as I can, fingers crossed, and I'm going to put this in the steamer with the seam side down. Okay. Now I'm going to repeat that process 3 more times. That. A little more cheese on the top. And it really doesn't matter if you've got stuff oozing out the ends. I mean, this is just goodness. The tortilla is just to make it look like you made the effort to keep it all in one place. Make sure you do put it in the pan, seam side down, so it kind of stays in place while it cooks. And I'll do it 2 more times. So to me, it's looking like these 7-inch tortilla shells were a good size for this. We weren't too sure. I'm going to sprinkle some more cheese on top. See, when I roll this up and the cheese is actually going to end up being on the bottom, it helps seal the bottom of the enchilada. Don't take me as a pro. It's the first time I've ever done this. But, I mean, that helps prove that A, it's great to try new things, and B, our solution packages are always simple and easy to follow. So, this is the last one. This one might be quite full. Wow, what a mess. Now I need some more cheese. Put some cheese on the top of that. I think I was kind of heavy-handed with the cheese. I will get some more to put on the top of the whole casserole before I cook it because we do like our cheese. So I've rolled this one. I've put it in my multi-purpose steamer. I had taken the tray out so that this does cook right in the bottom of the pan. Well, here you go. They're all rolled seam side down in the bottom of the multi-purpose steamer. Now what you would do is pour the rest of your thickened sauce. It's quite thick. I did microwave it a minute more than it said on the recipe. You're going to pour this over the top. It's going to ooze all, and we use this nice 3-in-1 scraper spoon again. It's going to ooze all around the sides so that your tortillas are all covered with the sauce. And I should have reserved 1/4 cup of that cheese to put on the top of this, and I didn't. I put it all inside. So I'm just going to grab the bag of shredded cheese, excuse me. And there's a chance I've never measured shredded cheese in my life, so you know, exactly 1/4 cup. Now this is all ready to go. It's all ready to bake. You bake it in the oven, a preheated oven of 350. You bake it for about 20 minutes. There's no meat in this particular recipe, so you're really just heating it through, making sure everything is heated through for your dinner. I am going to put the multi-purpose pot on our small baking sheet with the liner, just because it's easier to lift out of the oven. Not that this would be a pain, it's going to be fine. I just find when I have my big silicone hot mitts on, it's easier to grab the cookie sheet than the silicone handles. This is ready to go. So I'm going to put it in the oven for 20 minutes and we are enchilada ready. Thanks for joining me today, and as always, I appreciate your feedback, and feel free to join up with any of my VIP videos and let people know how it's working for you.